is real crazy. Like really, really, really motherfucking crazy.
Yeah, after I processed it, I realized the reason why I got the backlash I did is because a hit dog was hollering.
Hold on, because I'm just sharing it out. Trying to share, share, share.
Yeah, I got attacked because the dogs was hollering at y'all. That shit was crazy. But I want
Girl,
us
they
to
will.
I want us to talk about pick me behavior, and specifically like some of the pick me behavior we witnessed. Because it's like we want to call people names, but like we don't be talking about what the fuck happened, what they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a certified list, y'all, and I'm gonna let you know if you don't we gonna do this as a community. We're gonna make this list as a community. If you don't get your certificate, then you will pick me by default. I'm just letting y'all know that. All of you.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing before you start this conversation though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, because I did like watch a playback of the live. I wasn't there for the Allie J, for Allie and Minnie. Um, and I would just like to address because we could all be, part of the sisterhood. But what's the sisterhood without calling people out or in? I was actually really disgusted by the way they treated you today. like
Yeah.
like really genuinely hurt and disgusted. And I understand, you be letting that shit roll off of your shoulder, but that brought up a lot of feelings for me for when some of those very same women that was in the comments, and June baby, and a lot of others, when I was going through that shit with public, like those were the very same women that attacked me over a man that wasn't fucking feeding or financing them. So it brought up a lot of like trauma, a lot of because of the abuse that I faced at the hands of the public Pickmes, and the way that I saw those two women go after you really disgust me, and it hurt me. And I mean, I'm glad that, it was in a space where I could tell that they wanted to do a lot more damage. And you may not be upset about it, but I'm very upset about it. You may not be hurt about it, but I'm very hurt about it. I'm
No, I'm not sad
disgusted.
about it. When you say some of the same people, like who?
Like June, baby. Who else was in the panel? Juneteenth, June baby. I forget, they're either different or what, or the same to me. Um, I want to say, I forget. I'm gonna be honest with you. I forget the rest of them. I just know that when it came to June baby, she's the one that was doing like some of the most harmful shit to me, like causing the most havoc. Her and Lux baby, for after a man after Publix pick me's, and but really, I just wanted to talk about like Minnie and Allie, the way they treated you,
Yeah, I'm
because
not. And the crazy part is, I don't even remember having an issue with them.
that is the crazy part. That is, and for her to like, I mean, I can't really remember that well, but there was some point at one point where it just felt like to me, like because I worked in corporate for so long, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to derail your live, Tara. I
No,
really
you
am.
good. Go
Because
ahead.
I worked in corporate for so long, it was the same. It was given very much passive aggressive and very harmful. The way that they weaponized their like soft spokenness, it was very. I think it was very. They were trying to goad you into reacting and treat them the way that the men treat you. I mean, the way you treat the males on the panel. They were trying to get a reaction out of you. They were at one point. Did Ali say that you yelled at her?
Yeah. Which
That's
I don't remember doing that.
that's really crazy and really disgusting. And all because you wanted to use you wanted to say that pick me pick me can easily start to become a slur against women because God forbid we need one more name to be added to
We
the
won't
list
need
of
no
things.
more.
For real, we the W's, we the 304s. We now we just add one more list to the name to the list. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. If Drinker want to go, I think because
Ain't no problem apologizing. Cut that shit
girl.
out. Go ahead, Drika. Damn, you must be busy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she busy, so I'm gonna just finish saying I'm not gonna apologize, but I'm gonna just say that the way you was treated on Pretty's live, and I'm glad that it was on Pretty's live because she handled it the way she was supposed to. It was very, very diplomatic. But the way Allie and Minnie and Juneteenth, the way that they ganged up on you and attacked you today in the most passive aggressive way, I I I felt like it was kind of low key violent. I'm not gonna lie. Like it looked pretty violent to me, especially when it's because we understand that how women are violent to one another is not through physical contact.
Yeah, and it reminded me of like the whole smear campaign that Yellow started against me because
Hmm.
when Minnie was like, "Oh, you gonna say it's a slur?" and she got all fake emotional and claimed that like I was causing harm. Like now you trying to paint a picture about me by asking a question, which is fucking crazy.
It came off incredibly. They wanted. I feel like they wanted a reaction. They wanted you to yell at them. They wanted you to call them out their names, so then that they can turn around and say all of these things about you, like, "Oh yeah, we were right." And the reason why that brought up so much trauma is because June baby or Juneteenth. I'm be honest with y'all. I thought those were two different people, but now I've learned recently that they're the same person. They were doing the same thing, making passive aggressive comments to me. Like it's a lot. Like it's a lot that they were doing to you.
Yeah, and that's a hard lesson I learned coming on this app because I got caught up in the whole sisterhood thing and giving women grace to the point where like I was like highly respectful of women and like I've always cussed out the men, but I had to learn that no, it's a lot of and I think the this some people may be uncomfortable with it, but the truth is there's a lot of women in these spaces who are fucking harmful. They're
Yeah.
harmful and they want it does become a slur to call a woman pick me because it's like it's interesting because I kept trying to put emphasis on the behavior and they kind of was like taking my point and then saying they disagree with it, which was interesting. But they just want to have something to call women. They want to have something to have against other women. And if you really for women, why don't you have any empathy for women? Because if I say, hey, this is something that can apply to all of us, and you give a fuck, you would be like, yeah, you know what? Let me think about that. But no, you like, no, those bitches. But if we go down a checklist, that's gonna be a long motherfucking list. Your name's gonna be on there multiple times.
Yeah, I agree, and I think what was interesting is that we're having this conversation about why pick me is on a spectrum, and it can't just be these extreme things that they're talking about. It has to also be the things in the middle, all for Minnie and Allie to specifically show that they tried to, like, when Allie lied and said that you yelled at her, and then she did that nasty passive aggressive thing at the end when she was trying to check you, was very, very telling. She wanted to attack you, even against Pretty so graciously, and try in such a soft, caring way to stop it and correct that. And I think that she was willing to disrespect and dilute Pretty's conversation that's so important. Us just having discourse about women's business essentially. She was willing to dilute that and distort that and fuck up the room to get at you because she felt hit when you said a lot of women are pick me's. And I think they also felt hit when just put it up there. I also think they felt hit when you pointed out that you didn't say specifically to them, but they probably felt like, oh shoot, are you saying that we wouldn't get to be the leaders? Because that's what it boils down to. They subscribe to a hierarchy because they are male centered, androcentric, patriarchal queens. They want to be able to wag their fingers. They are the fake revolutionary, fake progressive, fake advocates that we have grown to start talking about. So they felt like hit dogs in that moment. They felt like you were specifically attacking them because they got skeletons in their closet. Both of them are some nasty talkers. They're some nasty, in the words of Eric Mays, they're nasty women with that nasty talking.
It
So
was
when you called them out, and I'm not saying you did, they felt like you called them out. They wanted to get you back. So it was very corporate America. It was very YT liberal woman who it calls herself queer, even though she never the only thing she fuck is a cop, but she's queer and she's, different. And how dare you? And she gonna start crying in a corner, and then you got to go on leave. Like they gave that, so it was anti-black to try to make it seem like you being passionate and you having a conversation and posing questions to try to make it seem like you were yelling. It was anti-black of them to try to gaslight you and make it seem like you were the aggressor while they were being aggressive. It's anti-black and it's misogynoir and it's misogyny and it's all the things they was fighting for their life not to be. And I'm gonna leave it there for now.
Let me pick it up real quick. Let me just say this.
Oh, go ahead. You
I
know
just
I'm getting ready to call you by your government name. Go ahead,
let me just
Miss
say
East.
I would just say real quick, Lynn, real quick, because I find it funny that they're that those same qualities that Mia that you just named is the same reason why I stopped going over to Mini Space, because when she would host her lives, they were extremely like it was very male centered over there. She would talk to the men like they were literal fucking children, explain things over and over to the point where some women, black women on the panel wouldn't speak for 30 minutes to up to an hour, all because she wanted to have a virtual fuck with men on the internet. Because that's really what it was. That's really what it is.
Oh,
Virtual fucking.
oh,
That's all I had to say.
oh,
So,
oh. Y'all, my friend, man, y'all done pissed my friend off. So I'm pulling out the gloves. And I want to say that I was attacking whoever the fuck it hit. It was meant to be an attack. Because you bitches had the sheer audacity to sit up there and want to talk about some motherfucking Pickmes. And Juneteenth was in the comments trying to pull me into her spiral of fuckery after telling me we should call truth. After this lady, I'm going to be nice about it. After this deranged lady went off on me for telling public that it was harmful to call me crazy when he was lying about a situation and I was telling the truth. And in order to invalidate me, he called me crazy. All right, feminist. Pop fucking quiz. Let's talk about the movement where men weren't committing their wives to, mental institutions for hysteria. Do we all know the significance, the historical significance behind that, feminists? Or no, we just talking. We're just using a bunch of words. Problematic, harmful, slur. Oh my God, you're being this, you're being that. Do you know the historical context in that? And you got on that panel to defend public calling me crazy when I was telling the truth, and I have the receipts. I posted them on my page. And you were like, he didn't call you crazy. He didn't say it, Lynn. Say it. And then after I said, I ain't fucking with you no more. You want to call truth. You no, because I told you to leave me the fuck alone and we ain't gonna be cool no more. Leave me alone. Stop burdening me to be your friend again. I said no. No means no. So not only are are we okay with calling women hysterical when they telling the truth and a man try to invalidate them? We're also not understanding consent here, because I said no means no. And because I said no, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to associate myself with you. Now you're attacking me. Now you're like, stop. We must all be a united front. No, stop platforming Saul. Stop platforming Hattie Mae. Bitch, I can platform whoever the fuck I want to platform, and I'm going to stand on that shit. Communicate me. Oops, you can't. I can platform whoever the fuck I want to platform. I can have conversations with whoever I want to have conversations with. Y'all got to stop taking away women's autonomy on this app for groupthink, for the purpose of groupthink. Guess what? Every time Saw get platformed, which is not a lot, I can't even remember the last time Saw been on my fucking panel. It was probably last year. He get cussed the fuck out for some crazy shit he say, or flashy, or any of the niggas that be up here. So say what you want, but every single time Lynn open her mouth, Lynn stand on business about what she say. It's very weird. It's very weird. And I'm
But
sorry
don't
for screaming. Actually, I'm
no,
not.
but no, you good. But don't forget, the same criticism she gave you, she give grace to men for doing that because the reason she know of Saul isn't because he was on your platform. Like, let's be for real. Hey, Dark Horse.
Hey, I wanted to come up and add to it. I wanted to mention that there was a lot of what do you call it? A lot of I don't want to say policing because that's the word that's overused, but a lot of Tara, don't do that. Not over here. A whole bunch of this whatever, you know what I'm saying. So, but when Pretty was pretty clear about things that she didn't want to go on and conversations she wanted to let go, these strong mods kept bringing it back up. Like, fuck what she said. I'm gonna sing it again. I'm gonna bring it back again. And I was like, oh, so you guys tell Tara to be quiet, but the person's platform you're on, it's fuck her. It's fuck her. You ain't gonna tell me what to say. If I want to keep bringing it back up, I will repeatedly by multiple. So I just think it's funny that we talk about this respect and how this situation is so fragile and we can't say these things. That's the performative part because you're saying that you shouldn't do it, but your actions are absolutely doing things. Absolutely fucking things. So that's the contradiction in real time or in 4K, as people say, or what have you. You were doing the same thing. And I was putting down there, just because it's passive aggressive, it's still the same thing. You're still crossing somebody's boundary. It doesn't matter. Just like you tell somebody to shut up in a whisper, they're still telling somebody to shut up. So if it's, hey, this is the rule over here, okay, that's cool. But you're not respecting the host and following the host rules, weird shit to me. And then the last thing I wanted to say is when people start, I call it the gentle swinging or what have you, the baby slaps in the face. The issue that people have and the reason why they think it's safe in certain spaces to do it is because another space, we respond with the actual threat, right? So however you package it, the threat is what the threat is. And when you say the thing, then that person is going to respond in whatever way they want to, which is the beautiful thing about having multiple platforms, multiple places to go, because we don't all act the same in the same space. So I wanted to mention that when you Tara didn't engage. Like I felt like some of the air leave the room, like shit, this is not working. It was like, and you, Tara, and you, Tara, and you, Tara. And when it didn't work, there was some frustration. Someone dropped. Just a lot going on. But it was weird that I'm trying to antagonize someone who is saying, please protect and think about women in a different light. It was an argument to force it back into no, 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 no. And if you guys understand patriarchy and misogyny the way you do, then you should be able to look and see how someone got there, why someone's in that space. Yes, it is important if you're worried about the sisterhood. If you just don't care about the actual women, you just care about what it looked like. I need you bitches to get in line. I don't give a fuck how you got like that, why you like that. I just need you to straighten the fuck up. It's not gonna work. But that's what it sounds like. And that part of it is performative for me. Like I don't care. Y'all just need to get y'all shit together because we want women to look a certain way. No matter what you do behind closed doors. So we got some of that shit going on. or what have you. Don't worry about that. How do we look out in public? You know, it's given that old school. Don't act like this in front of the whites going on instead of trying to get to the bottom of a real discussion and have some real growth and change, which is uncomfortable, which is challenging your beliefs. And I don't feel like anybody was able to challenge a belief, maybe ask more questions. So even if your beliefs aren't changed, if you're listening to someone, and especially if it's an opposing view, it should spark more questions. Not not attack, right? You're like, you need to tell me more about that because I don't get it, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking like this. What do you think? None of that happened. It was my point, my point, my point, my point, my point. So there wasn't actual purpose, and I don't think the goal was going to be to actually move anybody or have anybody open up their mind and consider another point of view, which is what Tara kept trying to bring to the conversation. So it's just funny how it goes down, but it's under this guise of, we're just having this delightful conversation. Well, nothing delightful about it. It was nasty work. It was just
Yeah,
nasty work in a whisper. Go ahead.
yeah, it was performative as hell. Like, let's be honest. Because actual unpacking is hard. You have to like shut the fuck up sometimes and like reflect. And it's interesting how you saying like, they wasn't respecting her platform because um the reason why I didn't go off on them because I was trying to respect Pretty's platform. Because like, and I think that's why they act that way. And I don't like going over there often because they know if it was anywhere else, they would have got cussed the fuck out, right? But them same women who's supposed to be your friend and they disrespecting you and your platform with the power that they have, they would never do that in these men's platform. They would never do it. They would never like whatever them niggas say. I don't care how ridiculous it is. They gonna do it. They gonna fall in line, and that shit is fucking crazy. Hey Ray.
Hey y'all.
Right. Yeah.
Lynn, where you been at? We've been missing you these past couple days.
I'm here. Can I just real quick? I want to apologize for not actually. Sorry, I don't want to apologize. That's not what I'm saying. Y'all, I'm yelling because I'm so mad. I'm so frustrated, and like this brought up old feelings with me and East, and like me and East literally had to sit on the phone. We've been on the phone together all day, like unpacking some shit that we still haven't been able to like quite move and move the needle towards like feeling okay with, because the same women who be in these places and the same women who are on that panel today claiming to not be a pick me, claiming to not be male center, claiming have done like overt like male center pick me shit. And that's all a point that we was trying to make is like you can't be the pot calling the kettle black. Just don't call the fucking kettle black. Let's just tell the pot when the pot doing something wrong, like, hey, you doing this wrong. Because if I'm being honest, if I were a pick me, right, like after further dissection of this conversation, they were using examples like getting your child essay, and like getting another woman abused and stuff like that. And like, if I'm the type of woman who just believe in gender roles, and you classifying me with the type of woman who get children essay, yeah, bitch, it's a slur. It's a slur, and I'm ready to cuss you out about it because I like gender roles. I don't. Well, I do, but like I, I'm like I like for a man to pay bills, whatever. But because I think I should cook and clean and like, submit to my man, which I don't like the word submit at all. I don't think women should submit. You putting me in the same category as a essayer, as a child aviator? What the fuck? What's going on? Yes, it is diluting it. It is taking out the bang from it. It is like it's too much, honestly. And the misuse and the overuse of the word harmful and and all those other words, right? Right? It's just too much. Y'all too much. And that's why like it's goofy at this point. Y'all goofy. You can't even have conversations with people no more.
Yeah,
It
it's like
was
the
relational aggression, coconut.
it's a bunch of holier than thou, right? Which is what Minnie was trying to do, like, oh, I can't believe we do this awful thing because I would never. And they were you like the to keep pointing out extreme behaviors is again is something that we see men do all the time, and it was manipulation. Like you're trying to manipulate people who are listening in with like the subtle way they was addressing it. Like clearly there's something going on. Like you and for Ellie be like, well, you can hit my inbox or whatever. No, you can say what the fuck you got a problem with, but you won't do that, will you? Like it's just passive aggressive. But the crazy part is, like I said, I don't even know what the fuck they got a problem for, and I have no problem. Like if anybody loves confrontation, I love confrontation. Tell me what the fuck I did. Let's talk about it. Any place, anytime. But but I do think it was hit the all a little bit at the same time because that reaction to what I was saying didn't even match. It didn't even make no goddamn sense.
It didn't match at all. It didn't match at all. And the whole, you could hit my inbox. First of all, bitch, who are you? Like,
Exactly.
like obviously she has to hit your. She was like, oh well, I feel like I don't really have a problem with you. Because if I did, we could take it off. It was given, catch me outside, bitch. How about that? It was like, oh, let's take it out, let's take it outside or some shit. It was very passive aggressive, more aggressive on Allie's part, and passive. Them bitches belong together. Them motherfucking passive and aggressive twin flames. Because for many to try to weaponize her emotions against you, the way white women weaponize their emotions against us in the office place, it was extremely triggering. And I'm glad that
Hey,
I.
don't she work in HR? Don't she always ain't she always hollering about working in HR? I mean, it tracks.
It does. It really does. And for um sorry, I'm doing two things at once. For you got a fork? Here, take this. For you to sit up here and try to and there that was bullying at its finest. They were bullying her, but they were doing it in a way that if Tara would have reacted the way that she reacts to other in other spaces, because she was trying to give Pretty a respect to Pretty's platform. She don't, you go over there, you gotta wear your skirt to your ankles, and that's nothing wrong with that. You gotta put your boobs up. I like that about her platform. It's very nice and calm over there. But if you were anywhere else, you already know you wouldn't have had that type of energy. You wouldn't have had that type of energy. You was trying to get her to have a certain type of reaction in front of a certain type of audience, because you knew that she wasn't going to act like that. And if she did, you would have get to say, see, you get to, like, again, you get to point your fucking finger and be like, those are the pick me. They're the bad feminists. They're the mean girls. They're the bullies. But bitch, y'all was bullying them. That's why I was so triggered. And I'm glad me and Lynn was on the phone today, because I got to express that shit to her. That it was the way that they were doing it. It was given very HR. It makes sense.
Yeah. And one last thing I want to point out, y'all, like, and stick to some of the points that they were saying. Like, I was very uncomfortable with the blatant um wanting to have a word to call another woman. Like, and y'all can go into the other stuff we'll talk about on the back end about all the words that we have. But like, it was very obvious that you wanted another word to, like, you weren't even worried about like the actual harm and addressing the harm, fighting for the right to be able to call another woman a name, just to call them the name, not talking about, okay, we need to find a way to address the behavior so they can understand. No, we need to find a way to be able to call them out, is what the hill that they was unaliving on. We need to be able to call them out. We need to be able to call them out. Well, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to be needing to call anybody out? Like, are y'all the authority on feminism and womanhood? Like, are y'all the authority on how we supposed to act and carry ourselves as feminists or as women who believe in a certain type of mindset? Like, and for y'all to want to have this power over other women, it is giving pick me, because you why do you want to say so bad that you are better than these women? Why the fuck do you want to be so, I am so much better than you, so I should be able to have a word that I can call you? Not once did they hone in. And it's funny because Pretty kept trying to redirect the conversation back to like, Oh, let's talk about the actual harm. Tara, oh, let's talk about the actual harm. Tam, let's talk about the actual harm. The women who didn't have an ulterior motive, the women who are not actual quote unquote harmful, right? Participate in this hierarchical thinking and trying to like take away women's autonomy. Those are the women who kept saying, let's talk about the actual harm. Even Brie was like, let's focus on the actual harm. But you kept going back to the hierarchical thinking. And that's the part that I have a problem with. It's groupthink, it's relational aggression, it's all that shit. There goes some new words. Throw it inside the repertoire.
I also she made Minnie actually said that she don't have time to say male centered or you having a male you're being I forget what other term she used. She actually said that. Like she thinks that her laziness in not wanting to articulate what the behavior is more important than addressing what the behavior is. So she believes that she has the authority, she has this moral authority where she can just blanket a statement out there. Oh, you are a pick me, in the same way that they throw out turf, in the same way that they throw out all of these other labels. And I like that Pretty had pointed out the progressive wagging finger thing, because we've been talking about that as it relates to the community, how the community, the rainbow community is so misogynistic, and they think that they can just throw out labels and say what they want to say because they're harmed and wag their finger like they have a moral authority just because they have some intersections. And they sounded like that, like, oh, I because I believe that I'm direct, which you're not direct, you being passive aggressive right now, Allie. You was being passive aggressive. Because I'm just a straightforward person and words mean things, and I am going to be the one. I'm the arbiter of who's who and what's what. No, no, ma'am. You, if words have meaning and you knew what words were, you wouldn't be throwing around the word harm. Or you would have checked your good friend who lied about cleaning up with her dirty ass, and you would have said, no, don't throw around harm in this conversation, because that's a problem. You saying that this black woman is being harmful because she posed a question is where the real harm is. But no, you was too busy on attack mode. And that's a lot of y'all problem. Y'all not the allies y'all think y'all are. Y'all are not the supportive women that y'all think y'all are. Y'all are scary. Y'all are dangerous women to be around, because you think you better than people. You think that you're smarter than people. You think that you have the answer. Y'all bitches couldn't be around me. I like to know what I'm dealing with. I like to know who I'm dealing with. I don't like motherfuckers who smile in my face and then do crazy stuff. That's why I like the South, because I ain't going up north for motherfuckers to be smiling in my face and harming me. I like to know what I'm dealing with. And y'all bitches is scary. Now check that. Read up on that. Discover that. Get a word for that.
Oh,
I
okay.
would
As
like
long
to
as you
say that
kept the West Coast out
oh
of it.
I want to say that when that was brought up about, hey, I want a blanket term, I don't want to deep dive, I don't want to piece it out. Um, Pretty did say, but you do that all the time. You always explain stuff. Like you say, this is what you did, you lay it out beautifully, and you give plenty of detail, plenty of patience, etc. But there was no comeback to that. So it was like, well, I've got to think on that. Like, you still disagree. How are you gonna disagree with what you do? You said that's what you do, but for the purpose of this argument and arguing against Tara, now we can't break things down to women to connect with them. But Pretty said you do it all the time. Like the lies, like right in 4K, being caught right in real time, that shit was sick. Go ahead, Ys. I'm sorry.
No, I would just want to say real quick was I just find it, I just think that it's funny because we understand that we have to have, yeah, we want to put a word like pick me onto a woman. And we understand that pick me ism or whatever is literally a spectrum. But when we're sitting here calling the same type of, when they were using those extreme examples, it was ridiculous to me because it was directly proving Tara's point. Y'all want to put this blanket statement on all of these different types of women, but but it's the action, it's the behavior that needs to be addressed, because you can't put on the same type of title or whatever on a woman that'll allow, like you, like the extreme examples that they use, a woman that will allow a man to touch her children, and a girl who will disappear on her friends whenever she get a new boyfriend. We get to call them the same thing, but that's the same. But wait a minute, because we understand the danger. We understand because we always give all of this fucking grace to men. Men get to always have caveats and context and nuance and all of these things, but women get to be thrown in the same motherfucking bucket as a woman that will allow a man to touch a child. But we understand the difference between calling a man misogynistic because he don't want to date a woman under 30, and a fucking pedophile, a PD30 that want to touch children. We have titles before those. We don't call those men P3DOs because it loses, if we call in all of the men the same thing, it loses the severity of what that is. And even on this side, we don't use that word like that. We call niggas bitches, hoes, losers, limp dicks, DL, all different types of motherfucking things. But we rarely ever put that shit, call a motherfucker P3DO, because we understand just how fucking serious that is. Now that's the same thing. You sitting here calling all of these women the same women that will, okay, well, I just want to bring my man on vacation, girls. Oh, she dished us at the club with a bitch that will unalive a woman for over a fucking man. They get to have the same title. And then on top of that, and I'm glad that Dark Horse brought that up, and I'm glad that Mia brought up the fact that you know what, let me take a breath, y'all. Let me take a lap.
No, you eating.
It really pissed me the fuck off. It really did.
But Pretty came up here, and I seen when I seen you in the request, Pretty. I was so glad that you came up because, of course, I was at work when the conversation happened, and we were able to see. I was able to see it back. It was available for me to see it back, and I thought that it was a beautiful conversation to have, and I think it's important. And I also respect and appreciate your honesty and the fact that you try to reroute the conversation back to where it needs to be. And I just want, before however we move in this conversation, I just want to be known that your effort in trying to hold this conversation that needs to be had is is appreciated and seen. And also it reminded me, even though we may have disagreements about some of these words, it bring me back to the place where I'm unpacking and navigating the rainbow community, because I've been a part of it since 2007. I've always had questions, and one of the things I've been pointing out is like how women have so many terms for them that just doesn't happen for men, like fish and pick me and this and that. So I think that if nothing else, us at least talking about it is important. So I just want to say that because I don't know how much you've heard, but just shout out to you for the attempt.
Yeah, it definitely was an attempt. Thank you. Um, I don't know, y'all. I think like I appreciate you staying and engaging in the conversation, Tara. I'm not sure if there was something behind the scenes. That's kind of how I was feeling about the conversation. I didn't really see what was said that was overtly bad. Or what I will say, like that, I'm like that you said that I'm like I don't really see the problem per se, but what I will say is that the entire point of the entire day was to deconstruct and to push back and to ask questions. That was kind of how it was. We started that live at like 5 a.m. and literally the entire time it was only women on the panel, and we were just pushing back on each other on everything we were saying. So that was kind of the mindset the entire day. So I don't know if like when you came in and you got the initial pushback, like if it felt harsh. But then when it kept happening, that's when I was like, wait a minute, what's happening here? Because at first I was like, okay, I get that. Yeah, I get that. Like, I don't think everyone's a pick me per se. And I think we can disagree. Like, we can just be like, I don't think I'm a pick me. Yeah, I think they're a pick me. But then we can say, okay, but we're all pick me in some ways. Sure. But I don't think it restricts anyone from having the conversation, or not having the conversation, from calling somebody a pick me if they think they're a pick me. But then that also is the reason why I asked the question initially, because I'm like, is it getting overused? So I approached the conversation from an inquisitive perspective because I did not have a stance yet. Like, and I still don't know if I do. I think I'm closer, but I don't know if I have a full stance. But I think, like, when I walked away from the conversation, I felt it was positive. Like, I felt as though it was women who fundamentally disagree with each other on certain things coming up and speaking their piece and then pushing back on it. Like, Lynn, there was even some things you said I pushed back on because I didn't agree with that. There was some things Tara said that I pushed back on because I didn't agree with that. I also didn't whoever. And that's kind of was the intent of the conversation. Did you walk away from it feeling differently, Tara?
No, so when you say it might have been something behind the scenes, I know just as much as you know. And the thing is, like, I wanted to have
Okay.
that conversation. I thought it was important. Why I made that point. The part that we was talking about was specifically how Allie and Minnie were acting, and even watching it back, like their behavior was disgusting because it
Yeah,
wasn't
and even
because it wasn't about the conversation at that point. That was personal.
It was personal, and
and
I
even
wish I.
ho- hold on real
Go ahead.
quick,
Go
E.
ahead.
Even June in the comments, she was saying little things, and like it was said before, I don't know if you were here before when we started and we said the reason why it was happening that way is because people know we yell, we cuss, whatever, but we know, okay, when we go to pretty space, we're gonna respect pretty space. We know that she don't want that. We know that she never gave the green light for that. She never wavered on it. Whatever, we gonna respect pretty space. But for everybody to go over there, y'all are pretty mods. That's fine. Never have a problem with it. But I still mess with you. Like, I still like fuck with pretty. We talking Franklin live, we be on each other side. You come over here. So like of course every now and then I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna see what's up with pretty live. And I don't want to feel like whenever I have something like whenever I'm stepping over there, you okay with like abusing your mind powers and like you just over there acting an ass because you know I can't call you out. June in the comments jumping for joy, talking about stop doing this, stop doing that. We all need to come together. We all need to do this. We all need to be on one collective consciousness. Well, June, it sounded like you want to strip women of their autonomy. It sounded like y'all are making it seem like women, grown women, are children. Like we need to be put in the place of your standpoint. And I don't appreciate that. Not from you, pretty obviously, but I don't appreciate that from those women. That's why I don't mess with them now. And it's clear. Um, I don't appreciate you telling me who and who I cannot have on my platform. And you've never sat in my life long enough to even see what we do when these men are on the platform. You just mad because that's how you feel. I thought we were for autonomy for women, but it don't seem that way. And furthermore, I would have wanted to call her out in front of you and everyone else. This is the same woman, Juneteenth, who took public's side and berated me on a live for public offender, whatever the nigga name is. I forget his fucking name now, and went in on me. So yes, it's giving pick me.
Also, I just wanted to say that first, thank you. I when I got to watch the playback, I do want to I do appreciate the way you handled the situation. It was very diplomatic, pretty. I appreciate the way you handled it. And also too, I do have to remember to stop cussing every time I come up on your panel. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't have no home training, my bad. But I think the reason why you may think that, like, because I think what was happening wasn't happening to you in that moment. But what was happening to Tara, it was happening to her. So if she says that she hasn't said it, but if she and I'm upset for her. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm upset for her. But if she walked away feeling as if, she was being bullied, if she was because to me it was violent, and I'm gonna call it passive aggressive violence. But if she walked away with those feelings, that's valid of her. I don't think any of us, and I'm not saying that you are doing this. I'm just saying I don't think any of us can like dictate how what she just experienced. But when I watched it back, I felt upset. I felt like she was being bullied. I felt that what was happening to her was 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 some of the most dangerous types of behavior in our spaces that I've ever seen. I'm not talking about the men. I'm talking about
Now I disagree with that, East. Now I disagree with
okay.
that now.
But
Like,
you agree with all the other things though, right? If you
yes,
don't, you can agree with all the other. So you
I
don't agree with that.
do.
Because I've seen, so you know what? Let you clock me real good because I've seen some bitches do some crazy shit over here. But you also can acknowledge that when at first you also acknowledge, you've already acknowledged that you thought that there was something going on behind the scenes, so you picked up on it, and it wasn't even happening to you. So if it wasn't even happening to you, I can only imagine how Tara felt in that moment. And if you even said like, "Oh, wait a minute, I have to step in now." So not only did you pick up on it, then you came and it kept going on to the fact where you actually had to step in.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that
Yeah.
it's
So I
that
think
there's
like, oh, go ahead.
no, I just want to say pretty it's nuance missing, and it's bringing in a referee for the third fight when the first two were a draw, right? The fight with East, the fight with Lynn, and then you're coming in saying, I don't know what's going on. So I think that it's weird to be like, hey, can you let us know if this was off a little bit without knowing the backstory? So the problem with being on TikTok for a long time is you actually get to know people, right? You get to know them and you see how they act when the chips is down and some shit really blow up, right? So when things blew up and the women got divided, pretty you weren't around. So there were things. So we have to kind of mince our words for someone who is being a straight hypocrite to our face. Like, I know you fucking lying. So all you
So
hear in your mind over and over again is, I know you fucking lying, but you're trying to stay on topic. And then they kind of throw another jab. And I'm like, I already said I ain't gonna say nothing. I know you fucking lying. I'm trying to stay on topic, throwing another jab. And it's like, no, just stop. So that's us coming over here to be like, we can't say that over there. Pretty ain't know what the hell's going on. But we seen y'all do these things to women. And now you up here trying to attack the people a second time, attack this group a second time is what it feels like. But if you weren't around to go do that the first time, you don't have that feeling. You'd be like, what they're saying is absolutely true. Yeah, it's true in words, but not true in their actions. We see other actions. We're not saying it in that well spoken. They know the script. They got the book down pat. We got that. But I'm saying that it's not how they show up when shit goes down. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead, pretty.
yeah, so that's why I asked. I mean, that's why I asked you directly, Tara, is because like I do want to know, like when you walked away, is that how you walked away feeling, or did you walk away feeling another way, right? Because I do know that you dropped from the panel, and what I will say is that, like, as I said, I recognize that there was disagreement, but it was not new on the panel. What was different for me, and the reason why I didn't immediately jump in was because Tara and Bree were on one side. Then you had Mimi and Ali who were on another side. So no, I didn't feel like she was ganged up on immediately because there was someone else who agreed with her on the panel. In addition, I felt like I agreed with her, right? So I was like, no, I think it's 3 against 2, right? But then what made the distinction for me was that there was a time when I think it was said like, Tara, no, Bree, you clarified, but Tara, this is directly to you. That was when I was like, hold on, no, something else might be going on here. And so you saying Dark Horse just now, like, hey, you've been here longer, so there are other things. Then now I know that there might be, right? But that also doesn't have anything to do with me. And I do understand that the whole point of me saying this is a safe space for women who are for women is that it should truly feel that way, right? Like it really should, even if whatever side of the aisle you're on, and it really should not matter. So I did not like that. After a while, it did feel like it was a little bit too intense towards you and your talking points, Tara. That's why I was like, I don't think what she's saying is that. I think we need to move on. She's asking a question. We've been asking questions all day. There's no reason why questions should stop being asked. I don't think the question she's asking is that far-fetched. And also, we be throwing our harmful a freaking lot. So then if we're going to introduce the word slur, we can't be all guffawing at the word slur, which is why I liked when, was it Dark Horse who said that on the panel? But my thing is, I felt like everyone who joined the panel thereafter was bringing in good points, which is what was needed in the conversation, right? Like Dark Horse came up and brought up fantastic points, and East, even though I don't agree with you that women are as harmful as men, I still don't agree with that, East. I still feel like you came in and brought up really good points, right? So that's like, if everything is harmful, if everything's a slur, then yeah, we got to talk about it. But also, you can't say one word is overused and the other one's not overused, which is why, like, I checked a lot of things in the moment. And I will say that none of my mods are above reproach when it comes to like being corrected, and I'm also not above reproach. Y'all saw Tam correct me like thrice today, okay? Like, that's kind of the goal. Like, nobody should be above being like, nah, that's wrong. Like, I don't agree with that, and here's why, kind of thing. But I didn't want you, Tara. I did not want you to feel like that was a personal attack and that this was some kind of ambush. Because genuinely, I was happy to see you come up on the panel, and I agreed with your talking points. And I'm sorry if you felt that way. I really did not want you to feel that.
So let me just
Yeah,
let you,
go ahead.
I'm gonna just let you know this.
Yeah.
Your space may be a safe space for some women, but there are a lot of women who your space is not a safe space for. And a lot of it has to do with some of the people who do mod for you. And sometimes, like I pointed this out with Xena, like people want to have like mod powers in people's spaces so they can continue to be nice, nasty, or whatever. So I just want to let you know, if you feel like, oh, you got this space and it's supposed to be safe for women, there's a lot of times I'll come past your panel and I won't come up there just because who's on the panel. Um, and like after what happened today, I wouldn't come on your panel with Minnie and Ellie up there because, like I said, like listen, like in a moment it felt crazy, but listen back to like I'm like, what the fuck? Like it was so much animosity, and how they try to like hide it behind, oh, the conversation was harmful. It was a problem, and like I didn't appreciate that like at all. So yeah, I would walk away feeling some type of way.
So
Can I
then, Tara,
also
let me
just
ask you
say
this,
too?
because
Oh,
let
go
me
ahead, pretty.
let me ask you, right? Because when we have conversations over here, like I come over here fully understanding that like this has not been labeled as a safe space, and like you're also the call out queen, right? Like you've made that very clear. And when I come here, I expect to deconstruct. Like I expect to be called out. I want to know, like, what does a call out on your talking points look like? Like, when you do come to another space, like, what does a disagreement look like? What does people not agreeing with each other look like to where it's not going to feel personal?
Um, People don't. So the deconstruction, when you think of like shadow work, is a lot of looking at yourself, and I'm
Hmm.
scary. Not because I use profanity, not because of my tone. I'm scary because people don't like mirrors. So it's not about, oh, what it look like in certain spaces. It's like, oh, we don't want you over here because we want to talk about this thing and we want to separate ourselves from it. But just like I came in today and I'm like, no, we all pick me's. Look how uncomfortable that makes people feel. But it's not a lie, it's the fucking truth.
And can I just say the people with their platforms, who platforms failed because of the way that they was acting, and people stopped going over there because of how they carry on with even the everything is harmful, everything is problematic, everything is like all that bull crap performative behavior. That's the reason why they platform failed. And it's funny that they leashed on to you and your platform, and started carrying on with the same type of behavior. And watch out for that too. The people with failed platforms, 'cause they got an alternate agenda besides trying to speak and have the conversation. And I'm gonna just keep it real. This shit is weird, and all this like moral high ground bullshit. Like it's weird. And it's not even because I dislike you, not you, pretty, but the person that makes me not want to go over there. Like, oh, I don't like her. She said something about the way I dress or whatever the case may be. It's because the way you carry on and the bull crap that you preach and how you don't leave space or grace for not no one, and that kind of shit is annoying. Like calling people out is one thing, but like you thinking that you coming from a moral high ground and like everybody has to operate the same way you do, and oh my god, if you don't, then it's a problem, and oh my god, you should be nice and you shouldn't say this and you shouldn't say that. Like we can disagree, but the moment you get to acting like you a little bit better, or you can do this or say this to me and I'm supposed to sit and just take it when you being passive aggressive to me. No, 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 no. You're not better than me because you're passive aggressive. You're just being weird and fake. And you're using plausible deniability in order to operate under this weird subterfuge, manipulation, and gaslighting.
I wanted to say that just to answer your question, pretty, what it looks like to disagree. When I got up on your panel, I knew that I was disagreeing with. I may have came like towards the end, but or I don't know how long you were live after I was on the panel, but I may have came out a little bit after that. But when I came up on your panel, I knew I was disagreeing with Tara. I knew I was disagreeing with you, and that's what it looked
Mhm.
like. That's what it looked like. I didn't agree with what you I thought I in my mind I'm like, no, let's call the pick-me's out. Let's do this. Let's do you know what I'm saying? But I didn't come at you as in you know what I'm saying? I think that you're causing harm by minimizing or anything like that. I didn't come at Tara like
Mm.
that. I came at this is my opinion. You there's time there we disagree on these panels all the time. Me
So,
and Lynn and Tara, Drika and Lynn, like we all Dark Horse. Well, I usually agree with Dark Horse because she be on the money. Dark Horse disagree with. We all disagree, but the way that went down, you gotta like it was like you gotta. I mean, we was all there. Like it. I mean, I wasn't there in real
mhm.
time, but I watched the playback. It was a lot.
So when was it decided to like record? Was it kind of like it was decided that it was harmful, so like let me record this to watch it later?
I didn't record it.
Oh no,
None of us record.
So,
None of us recorded it. Someone brought it to us because they felt in that moment they were there in real time, and what they were seeing, they wanted everyone else to see. Also, too, they knew that Mia's at work. I'm actively working. So for a majority of the conversation, I was in the live, but I had to keep turning it down to take the phone calls. So someone that we trust, that we know, took it upon themselves to record the live so so we can understand that we weren't being gaslit. So Tara could understand that
mm,
that we were being gaslit. Tara was being attacked. Tara, someone felt that it was important enough for us to watch the full thing and have the full context. And to that person, I'm extremely grateful. You did the damn thing.
yeah, I don't think Tara was being
Uh,
gaslit. Like I don't like, and that's like once again that goes with emotions. She definitely was not being gaslit, right? Like I did feel like the approach to your talking points was a lot. And so when I'm saying like when I that's why I came up, because I do feel like it was a lot. I don't think anything you were saying was harmful, and that's the kind of conversation that can be had with other women. I guess I just want to know then, if we're talking about having grace for other women, I'd want to know, like, do we then say, all right, finger wagging, like I said in the topic when I wrongfully said progressives and not leftists, Tam, finger wagging, does it work, or is it more of, hey, let's have the conversation rather than sitting here saying, I think it's harmful and dangerous that you said this, instead of, hey, I don't agree with that, I don't think. And that's why I said, like, the multiple times, and I'm like, do we approach the conversation from a point of view of like, yo, we need to stop calling every fucking thing harmful. Like, we need to stop doing that shit, because like it dilutes the conversation, it puts people on the defensive, and you're literally trying to accuse somebody of intentionally causing harm when they're posing a question, which it kind of, it deletes the whole point of being an intellectual, which is like a learner, if that makes sense. Like, you want to learn, you want to ask, you're inquisitive, all that stuff. Like, it dilutes that, and you have to be decisive, and I have to be for sure on my point before I speak, because God forbid, if I'm not for sure on my point, then somebody's going to accuse me of some shit. No, I can just ask a question. Like, I can just ask a question. And I thought that's what you were doing, Tara. And honestly, I did not see that. I did not see where the smoke was coming from. And that's why I was like, no, it's a freaking question. Let's ask the question. So, like, but do we then say, I think they intentionally meant to bully and harm me? Or do we say, yo, you need to watch when you're using words, harm, danger, this, that, because you're diluting the purpose of the word when we're just trying to have conversations?
I'm gonna I heard everything you said, pretty. And all of that is
You
genuine,
can go
right?
next.
And
She's
I'm
been
gonna
trying
go
to.
ahead.
No, go
Oh,
ahead
I'm
and finish.
sorry. I can wait.
Letting know she can go next. She's been waiting. That's all. Go ahead and finish, Juggles.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say too that I'm gonna go ahead and confess that I ain't gonna speak for y'all. I'll let y'all chime in and see if y'all agree or not. But no, I think that I wasn't being genuine. And the reason I say I wasn't being genuine is because we have a panel of people that we know have acted complete opposite of what they were preaching. So that was the dissonance that I was going through, trying to stay on topic with someone who's arguing a topic that they don't follow. So if you're looking at it just saying on these facts alone, you're going to have your stance, pretty. That's going to be your stance. However, if that person had harmed you and did some things that they did to other people on this panel and that came up, you would be calling them out in a moment, like you called out homegirl and threw her shit up on the back there. We have receipts too. We can throw that stuff up and be like, that same person, pretty, you over here talking about some. They all about womanhood and they all about the movement. Look at what the fuck they did. Look at what the fel- so we have a different. So I don't think that we were able to even engage on a level of realness that we needed to. I don't believe so. I try to talk to you. I try to stick to the topic, but I can't go back and forth with people that I know exhibit the exact behaviors you down here trying to police and admonish women for. So it was never going to get, not with us, it wasn't going to get to that point because some of the people glean or get some get some information from that live and walk away with like, yeah, it's going to be difficult for the people who have seen them be harmful, seen them do pick me shit or what have you. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. That's the only thing that I'm saying, and I think that's the part where we're going to keep having this back and forth. Like, no, you weren't being gaslit. If you knew what the hell this woman did before, you'd be like, I know you really come up here talking that, but you don't know. So people will come in to a new person and they get to be whoever they want. It's like the old boyfriend. He was shitty to me, but when he come to you, he new and shiny. You'd be like, I ain't had no problems with him. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just telling you my experience with the person. So I may not be able to get behind him like you are. Could he change? Has he changed? Maybe. Hope so for you. Don't wish any harm on you. And we can maybe leave it at that. But everyone who's had that experience, that person was preaching togetherness, sisterhood, and feminist thought before that shit went down. And then they took a complete left turn. I was like, whoa, that's not what you've been preaching. So I've got feminist togetherness. a situation went down and you was standing up for niggas. I mean, standing up taller than they were. They got the chance to keep quiet because you did so much shit to the other women. And now back to I'm over here in Pretty's Lab and I'm just a delicate feminist. Absolutely the fuck not. Like, no. So I don't know. When I tell people once I see two sides of you, I'm not gonna be here trying to sort it out. I'm not gonna be here trying to sort it out. I'm not gonna do it, especially if the nice version is this passive aggressive white chick that I work with at work. I don't believe that one. I don't believe it. I believe the other motherfucker. Now, some people could do the opposite. They may believe, no, that person had a bad day. That negative thing they said, blah blah blah. That's not really them. Who they really are as a nice person. I always err on the side of caution, and the side of caution and safety is no. I see you do some harmful shit. I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. Let somebody else try it out and see if it's working for them. Um, but I know a lot of people have been pulling you on the back end. Somebody said in the comments it was yellow and villain that we gotta talk to you in the back end. We gotta talk to you back end. We already know what they fucking saying. We already know because we already been through it or what have you. The thing is,
Oh,
this group is
wait,
not saying
hold on, hold on. You
huh?
say you think somebody's talking to me on the back end?
No, they want to. That's what they kept saying
Oh, okay, because
in
I
the
just want y'all
comments.
to
We gotta
know
talk to
I
you.
ain't in no
They be
Discord
trying.
at all. So,
No, they've been trying. They've been trying. They just said in multiple lives. I got to talk to you about this on the back end. So they said it publicly. I don't know if it happened privately, but they have been making pleas to you to please let me tell you about these motherfuckers on the back end. You don't hear those pleas coming from this group. You don't hear us saying, "Let me tell you about what so and so did." That was our experience, and we let it go. However, we won't be gaslit by them motherfuckers. So if you're saying, "Hey, lady, that's not what's happening," you do. You deal with it. It's fine, but it's not going to change our experience of them. I think that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I land y'all. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I wanted to address a couple things. So when you had asked about like how the conversations go, and what it would look like, I wanted to address that directly. I think when we come into your space, or if I come into your space, I'm going to respect your space because I respect you. So if you want me to have a conversation and not go into my cock sucking bag, or I'm gonna put a fucking light up yet. Like, if you don't want me to do that, I'm not. I don't think that it makes me fake or anything. I just think it means, hey, when I'm in pretty space, because she wants to curate a certain type of conversation, I'm going to respect it. But I am going to feel a way if I come into your space, respecting your space. But some people get to be disrespectful because you are intelligent enough to know when someone is being passive aggressive towards you, and you handle it how you handle it because you have a way of handling it. And I think your way goes in many rooms, right? My way might not go in many rooms. So I would have to either, switch my directness and make it less direct, or I would just have to say, I would have to decide, what do I want to disrupt a cordial, respectful relationship we have for the sake of my ego, especially when I respect you first. Like, it ain't even nothing about nothing more than I respect what she does. So why do I want to disrupt her space? I'm cool. I got it. So that was the thing that I saw, that you set a boundary, and because they are cool with you, they disrespected them when Tara didn't. And I think that was the difference. If you came into this space and somebody played with you, not only would you be able to get back with them however you wanted, 9 out of 10, if I was on the panel, I'll probably throw the fire too, because I'm like, nah, I know pretty don't get down like that, but let me grab you by your nut sack and swing you around because you playing with this woman, and I'm not gonna let it happen. So that, to me, that was the difference I want to address. Then now you was like the gaslight when happening.
You went out, Mia.
Girl, I thought my shit was tripping. I said, wait a minute.
wait, did she cut out or?
Yeah, she cut out.
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody probably called her. Somebody
Tara,
probably called her.
Bree and Tara had the same point.
Mia,
Yeah, you cut
Mia,
out.
Mia, you went out.
Oh, I don't know why. Can y'all
We
hear
didn't
me?
hear nothing you said after you said that you would slang somebody by their sex for pretty.
Damn. Okay, so it's, yeah, it's aliens, Lady Q. But leave from that point. My only thing is that the gaslighting was there because if excuse me, if Bree and Tara had the same talking points and they agree with Bree and disagree with Tara, so they can argue with Tara and then say that she was yelling and then say that she was like being disrespectful while they were being disrespectful. That's what I think the gaslighting was. And you even pointed that out. Allie finished her point and then said, and oh yeah, Tara, don't yell at me again. And you had to say, whoa. So those are some of the things that I think they're talking about. But I do want to make sure it's clear in having this conversation with you. I don't want it to be like, because you don't have to be responsible, because I believe that you check the behaviors in the moment. And that's why I said when you first got here, I respect your attempt and I respect the way that you move, because as uncomfortable as that was to watch, because Tara is a friend of mine, it was very refreshing to see you clocking the things that I clocked, because to me that shows that at the very least you have good intentions. At the very least you are approachable. At the very least you can have the conversation. So I do not think that it's your responsibility or your fault, or you need to answer, or you need to check, or you need to ask questions to better anything. I think that you handled that perfectly fine. It's not your responsibility when people disrespect you. And I think that for me, in my opinion, the disrespect wasn't direct. It was just selfish. They wanted to address Tara because they have personal things, and the personal things could be nothing more than what Tara said earlier. She a mirror. It could be nothing more than that. But either way, I just want to be clear. You don't have to be responsible for nothing nobody do on your platform or to you. So I just want to make that clear.
I wanted just to add before, because I know Hattie is up here. But before you go, pretty, I just wanted to say the reason why I say it was gaslighting on there on that panel was because at one point in time, Tara even called it out herself. She was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't. She even said that she felt like she was being bullied. And then Allie turned around and said, "Well, maybe you just feel like that. I'm not bullying you. You just feel like that because I'm just having these emotions, and you're just taking it this way." That's gaslighting. Like when someone is invalidating, actively invalidating your emotions in real time. Tara called it out on the live. Maybe you were working or maybe you were away from your phone, but I remember seeing her call it out on her live, saying that I'm being bullied, and then Allie responding to her saying you're not being bullied, you're just feel that way because I'm having these like that's gaslighting. We've all of us are women. We understand what it's like to be gaslight by someone telling us this is not what you're feeling, and if you are feeling it, you're wrong.
Are we going to Hattie next or?
No, I think you should have time to
Oh,
respond,
okay.
Brittany.
Listen, because I'm ready for this. But anyway, so yeah, so I think I heard a lot, but I also understand each of your perspectives, and keeping it on the topic today, I think for me, this is a moment, and this is proof positive that none of us fucking have it right. None of us have it right. I genuinely think deconstruction is, I said it earlier where I was like, people sometimes think it is like a road where like there's only one direction to go, and I think it's a cobweb where everyone can pick their freaking struggle and everyone goes their direction, and that's it. And they think that, oh, I made it to the end of my line, so I'm good. And that's not true at all, because there's so many other, yeah, it is not linear. There's so many other directions to go. And while you may think you have gotten far on your road, someone else has gotten far on their road, and it's a completely different road. So I personally appreciate these conversations. I personally truly appreciate all of these different spaces. I do understand the concept of being, I do understand feeling like unwelcomed. Or I do understand saying, hey, if certain people are on the panel, But just know, like, I do have back end conversations, especially with people who are my mods. When I see things, I do that just to make sure, like, no one is above reproach. Being a moderator does not mean that, like, you can't be corrected. It also doesn't mean I agree with you 100%, right? It's just a matter of who comes to the space, supports the space, is able to be in the space often, and, like, understands what I'm trying to do. But I don't want anyone to feel unwelcomed, but I also know I can't control that. It ain't something I can control, and it is just for everyone to decide. But I actually appreciate these conversations, and I think it's just all learning. That's it.
I just wanted to say they weren't respecting you, pretty. You tried to stop a couple times.
No,
So that's what we brought up. It was like, yeah, I was like, oh,
I fully
not
know.
even
I
pretty.
know. I know.
Okay.
I know.
All right. That's why I was like, mm-mm. Don't be trying to
I
clock
know.
people over here. Y'all ain't even listening to pretty. Y'all really off the
No,
reins
no, but
today.
I mean,
I
I
don't know
think
who
for me, like,
cut these horses loose, but they went wild.
and so I think that's the big difference with me. Like, I am not, I don't know why, but I don't know if y'all have noticed, but you may not have. The thing I called out when Tara was on the live with the whole on a live threat that I received, for some reason, like, they really don't like me. Like the dudes, the men on this app really don't like me. And that's probably why I vehemently disagree with the whole aspect of, like, women being more dangerous or as dangerous as men, because I don't believe that. Fundamentally, they are more dangerous, but they really don't like me, so they be snooping in the spaces and just waiting for women to disagree, to ask stupid ass questions like, what happened to the sisterhood? So I refuse. I'm sorry, I just refuse to, like, do the whole public checking shit because of that. But it doesn't mean conversations aren't happening on the back end. So I'm just gonna say that.
But like, fuck them first and foremost, and they're gonna say it anyway because they say what happens to the sisterhood when we don't get along with the women that we consider pick me. So like, I'm not gonna operate and tiptoe around shit for these men because
But
they
I
be irrational. And regardless of how I move, they be pointing. They're gonna use anything to point me and Mia. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. So, I mean, if that's how you choose, I'm not trying to sway you. I don't want this to seem like I'm trying to sway you. I'm just saying, like, the whole don't call women out on public, don't do this in the public, la 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 la. We did that before, and let me tell you, we did that with Yellow Chick, and then they turn around and bit us in the ass like bad because all women in these spaces are operating and acting like she is like fucking Mother Teresa when she's harmful. I'm being facetious because we use the word harmful, but she has said and done and acted in some messed up ways. Us showing grace and not taking this to TikTok and being quiet, it turned around and bit us in the ass because nobody knew what happened until another group of women had a disagreement with us. And then she thought this is my time to get back at them for disowning me and stop wanting to be my friend. When all we did was decide not to fuck with her based on some actions. So she got mad and clicked up with some other women. So I'm gonna call out who I feel and deem necessary to. Because the same women, and this is what I was saying earlier in your life, the same women who be calling other women harmful and be saying, oh, we should call women pick me's and yada, 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 and I'm not a pick me, are the same women who have participated in harmful behavior towards women, like colorism, right? Like sitting on a panel when your friends is having a conversation and going to sleep and pretending like you asleep, and then when a nigga pop on the panel, you ready to talk to the nigga. It's giving pick me, sister. I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you it's giving pick me, sister. It's for me and Lynn, and I don't give a fuck if Dark Horse don't hold my hand or Mia or Tara. Now I'm big old calling you out on it. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about the red pill man. Fuck them. They be having shit going on that other side of TikTok disagreeing. Ain't none of us perfect. And I ain't trying to be perfect for fucking Lower and Omega and them so they won't have nothing to talk about me. Shit, fuck that. Not like that.
Yeah, it is. It's not about that for me though. I just think like we all have different ways, and I'm gonna be real. Um, I don't know if I'm personally I'm not comfortable with it. That's just not how I personally operate. Because I understand like what is happening towards like my space. I understand other things that maybe y'all aren't aware of, but being very new to the space, I'm saying that I have found more harm and more danger from those men than I have women. I That is what I found, but it does not mean I don't have my eyes open. As I said, I don't have a Discord. I don't have like a lot of these back end discussions. What is online is what is online, right? So, but what I will say is there has been more harm that has been caused by these red pill men, by these men that like other people don't find to be a danger. Like you're saying you don't find those men to be a danger. I do. I do.
No, that's
I
not what
don't
I'm
know if
saying at all, pretty.
Who
That
wrote
is
that?
not what I'm saying. Oh,
but I'm
I'm
saying
not
like
saying that.
I'm saying like what I'm saying is that I think it is being, I'm not saying it's being weaponized differently, but it's being weaponized in a way that makes me uncomfortable. Like very uncomfortable. So I have
Wait, which
conversations and I check
part?
people, like meaning certain ways of checking. So for example, when I check when I checked what happened today, that's not new. Anytime I see something and anyone sees something, they have space to check it, I check it. People check me. It's a back and forth of just making sure like we understand like this is a space of learning, whatever. But meaning once again, no one is above reproach. So whenever like it said like, hey, this girl's allowed to be here and she's this way, this person's allowed to be here in this way, it's understanding that when they come there, they're not an authority. They're not an authority at all. It's not a hierarchy. No one is an authority on what feminism is, what deconstructing is. As I said, it's a web. It's not a line. It's not linear. It's a consistent moving thing, right? So for me, that's kind of how I approach it, which is why I don't really like to operate in like the space of like getting really really close to where I can't see clearly, because then for me my personal interest is going to get in the way. So that's
Right.
how I operate. But
No, and I
no,
respect that.
yeah,
But I just want to say, at no time did I ever set out to call out any woman on TikTok. At no time, like I just said. We put that shit on the back burner with Yellow. We didn't. I called out public offender and Jeffrey, and the women jumped in. The women jumped in when I was calling out the
and that
men.
is male
So I
centered
want to be
behavior.
emphatically clear. Exactly. And I want to be emphatically clear with that. That is what happened.
Mhm.
I've never set out to call out any of these women. The women jumped in. So that's why I was like, that's why Dark Horse keep reiterating. Some of these women have no business trying to argue for the right to call anybody a pick me
It was a
when y'all
topic,
have done some
and that's what I
shit
said.
y'all.
It was the topic of the
Like,
day, so that's what it was. If the topic was something else, it's not that every time we go on the panel, we'd be like, "Oop, let's go ahead and call out this person again." We never brought it up. It was the topic and how someone is standing so strong when we seen you do something else. If the topic was on Black voting rights, we wouldn't bring this up. That's messy to come up on some panel and then bring up something that has nothing to do with the topic. It was the doubling down and the attacking on someone who's trying to open up. The and Tara's idea again is to open up and understand and see that there was, you see something in somebody that maybe you used to do, and how to be more inclusive and how to understand. It was very high level. It was frustrating that these people are acting like they're the authority. Tara, that's not the right way. This is how you identify these harmful women, and you were the harmful woman. So that's truly what it boiled down to. Pretty, it was a topic, and it was the wagging your finger at somebody, well, we like, bitch, we just seen. want you to want like that's what was going through our heads at the time. So that's why I say I don't even think that it was. No one came up to be like, today we're about to jump on Minnie and Allie, because it didn't happen like that. It was a topic, and then for someone to say I'm the authority on what we're gonna do and with this pick me thing is crazy work to come from you. That's all that it was. I'm gonna go back on mute.
I get it.
Can I just say that I hope you don't have to go through it because when you say like I agree, the men are more harmful. But it hit different when you giving women grace, and you have women who come in your space and they don't like you. They're smiling in your face, they're backstabbing, and they'll do anything to destroy you and destroy your platform. Because that's a thing. And after you experience it, ain't no going back from that.
I was gonna say they was taking
Yeah, it's
down
a five
lives
foot
in
villain
two
thing.
minutes. Yeah, taking down lives, taking down lives, taking down lives, down Tara's
I
lives
wanted to
for months on end.
let me just say, because I truly I wouldn't wish that on you. You know what I'm saying, to you, pretty, because being harassed by women that you were once in community with over a man, that shit,
Mm,
it's traumatizing.
mm.
It is extremely traumatizing. And I'm just saying that a lot, well, I can only speak for Juneteenth, but when it comes to Juneteenth in 5 Foot Villain, those were the women that were actively doing that. To Juneteenth for me in particular, 5 Foot Villain, I really can't remember if she's kind of a non-factor to me. But 5 Foot Villain,
Hmm.
um, uh, Juneteenth was definitely the one that was causing me a lot of harm over public, a lot. And I don't think
Yeah, all of this
that
shit was over public.
I
All
don't.
of this, all of it was over public.
Yeah. And I wanted to say that I don't even think that, and I'm glad that you did come up here, but I don't even think that this conversation, because I'm the one that, this is not even the topic. I'm the one that and again, Tara, I'm sorry for derailing your live and breaking this up, but I just had such a, uh, an emotional and triggering reaction to see that happen to her in real time, and it just happened to be on your panel. So I don't even think that this is a conversation for you. I think it's a conversation for them because you handled it correctly. You did what you were supposed to do. So I don't understand, us even having this conversation with you in the first place because you didn't do what you didn't do that. You didn't do those things. They did.
Girl, I'm not trying to have no
So wait,
conversation with nobody.
wait,
So
East, let me ask.
pretty, she is welcome over here. Oh, go ahead, pretty. My bad.
Listen,
I,
I don't
I
care if
didn't
I'm
say
not
that
welcome.
pretty.
I'm
It is
coming
like a
anyway
party.
because I like Tara's face. I be thinking that
Right.
she's a savant sometimes,
Well,
and
no,
I
hold
be
on. Y'all
so.
think y'all? I hope y'all not saying
Tara
that I'm
gave
saying that
me
pretty don't
parenting
deserve.
advice one day that like changed my life, and
Well,
so
hold on.
because
Wait,
of
wait,
that,
wait. Pretty. I hope you don't. I hope y'all not misunderstanding saying that I don't think that this that pretty needs to be over here. I'm saying that this.
No. I'm saying
Oh,
she do belong in this conversation because it was about her life. I disagree with you on that. I think
oh
Pretty
no, I
do
disagree with
should
you
be over
on
here and
that.
not them.
No, they need to be
It's
over here.
okay. I'm gonna talk about you behind your back later.
It's okay because
It's
I'm gonna talk about you behind
okay.
your back next, and then I'm gonna talk about
It's
you.
so
okay.
now East, let me ask you a question because you did like I was on a live with you, when June apologized to you. So was that
Mm-mm.
not
When
something?
that's
No,
never
I'm asking you, East. Was that not like sufficient? Did you feel like it was
she's
not?
never apologized to me ever.
I swear we
And the
were
reason
on
why
a
I'm saying mm-mm is
No,
because she did the
literally.
same thing to me as she did to Ease, and she tried to apologize to me. So she might make. I'm letting preemptively. I'm letting you know it's a no for me because
the only
June
No, I'm not talking about
attacked
you
me
and you.
viciously.
I'm not
the
talking about
only
you.
women the only women that have ever apologized. apologize to me over the public thing are the women on this panel. Tori. Um, that's the only people I could. That's it.
Oh,
It was the
Yellow
women
also
on this.
apologized on that. Wasn't it Trigger?
Yeah, yeah,
Remember.
I remember that now. I forgot about Yellow again. I
So
forget that she's even a
that's
part of
why.
this
Okay, so
conversation.
here's what
But
I'm saying.
June,
No,
Let's.
but
hold
I'm
up.
saying, but
No, hold
Yellow is
up.
not
Y'all keep talking
June.
about. Hold up. Y'all can talk about the other shit, but fuck Yellow and her fake ass
No, I know,
apology.
I
No,
know.
but
But what
But
I'm
I'm talking
okay.
about June. I'm talking about June. I'm not talking about Yellow. I forgot that Yellow apologized. Yes, Yellow apologized. But the women
For
that
what?
apologized are for the public thing. But no, to answer your question, no, she never apologized. Never.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'll move on.
Yeah. And she tried it,
And I don't
but
want
she
her
said, let's
apology.
be truths. Yeah, she said, let's just let bygones be bygones instead of apologizing for what she did to me on Prototype Live, berating me, harassing me about saying that public called me crazy. And he did not call you crazy. Roll the clips back, and he literally called me crazy. And you did all of that. Did he land? Did he land? Did he say it? Say it. No, you need to say it. No, you need to say that he did not say that. You need to say it. Oh, I post a clip because I had a clip still. It was nasty. So Miss June calling people out for being pick me's when she did all of that for public is very fucking crazy because I don't remember her being in the public Discord, nor do I remember her being, gang gang. So it's kind of crazy. Like y'all want to be not male centered but be male centered at the same time, and it's very weird behavior. Is you male centered or not? Like fuck it.
Mm,
Like,
but
cause y'all do anything for
I'm gonna
public.
say that like June was someone who agreed with Tara actually. She agreed with Tara. So
Then
that's where
why
I'm
was she
like,
harassing me in the comments?
well, you and her might have something different, but I don't know if her and Tara had something. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like that's I don't like those might be two different things. Either way, like
They
they
are
were
two
said
different
different.
things.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is the
Yeah.
whole male centered being a pick me thing. That
But
was
me and
something
Tara
I
said the
think.
same thing.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no,
even know
no,
what Tara said.
no. Y'all didn't. Y'all didn't say the same thing.
We absolutely did. I watched the live
No,
back.
no, you didn't. Like so, Tara said everybody is male centered, and she stuck to that and said, let's not focus on the term, let's focus on the behavior. And she was very consistent with that the entire time. She also said, um, hold on. Let's not get into the extremes. However, if we're gonna unpack, we need to focus on. Like I felt like Tara kept repeating the exact same thing. When you
Okay,
came
what
up,
did I
you
say?
said when you came up, you said you were speaking about performative feminism. You were speaking about
But why did I say that,
wanting
pretty?
to be. I don't know why you said that. Like, but the thing is, like, that's what you initially said. Like, you came up and you were like, the Pickmes are shoulder to shoulder with a lot of people who are performative feminists. So, in my opinion, honestly, when you were talking, Lynn, I feel like it was cryptic. Like it was like there was something in it. I couldn't figure out what it was. Like it was like like there's a message that needs to get to
Right.
somebody. I don't know what it is, but it's not really like it was not what Tara said. Like Tara was speaking about everyone is a pick me. And we just need to get over the fact that we're all pick me's. We need to deconstruct. Because I even clarified with Tara. I was like, so wait a minute. So are you saying like we're hopeless and we have no hope of not being pick me's anymore? And she was
So
like,
I
no,
didn't
that's
bring
not
up
what I'm
pretty how
saying.
pick me is a sliding scale and male centeredness is a sliding scale. So you can't
You did
like
say
call
that. You did
somebody
say that.
who will want to be catering to their man a pick me at the same way you would call a woman who would get her child essay a pick me.
No, you definitely said that. But what I'm saying is I feel like what you said was different because the most of what you were speaking of focused on performative feminism being shoulder to
Right.
shoulder with that was the
And I'm gonna
most of
stand
what
on
you said.
it. I
Can I
still
hop
think
in
It's not
here?
it's
I
not
still
about it's not
think
about standing. No, it's not about standing on it or sitting on it. It's
no,
about
for me it
what I
is.
got from.
No, she's saying your messages are different, but let me tell you
Exactly.
how they're
That's all
similar.
I'm saying. I'm just hold on. I know that they had similarities. I'm saying that when you both spoke, I did not get, oh, she's repeating the same thing she repeated.
Okay,
That's
well, let
not
me
what
tell
I
you
got
how
from
they're
it.
the
It was
same
just
then though.
different.
Let me tell you how they're the same, how they can be conceived as the same. Because in using Lynn's talking points, she said, basically you're either a pick me or, a feminist. And I think for me, what I hear when I hear what Drika said, that everyone is a pick me, it just depends on how you perform. To me, it sounds like Mia is speaking about how even when women call themselves not performing for men in some way, shape, or form, they are still performing for men, right? Much like the decenter men conversations, or when we have conversations about the behaviors of women, how they are anti male or how they are for male, men are still centered in it. So what they're both saying is true, and essentially it is the same. I think you're looking for the nuance of women in there that don't conform to pick me nor performative feminist ideologies or like standards. But it I think they encompass one another. So is it the nuance that's
Can I ask a question real quick? Um, like, Patty, what are you doing here? Like, what are you in this conversation for? Like, don't you have some free labor to do for one of the red pillars? Like, what are you
you're so
like?
Fighting
bothered.
No, I
Hattie
mean,
because
Lynn,
I
I
was
know that
talking
you
about
live.
her.
She's so bothered. Hi.
I'm
Yeah,
What's
not
because
bothered.
happening?
I
You
bought
think I'm
Hattie.
bothered? I'm just saying.
But you
And hold
are.
on, hold on, hold on. I bought. Hold on, y'all can have y'all beef. I ain't stopping no grown woman beef. But I bought Hattie name up in Pretty Live, so I let Hattie know that I bought her name up in Pretty's Live. So that's why she's here because I bought up her name. But y'all got y'all beef, y'all can squash it or
No,
handle
I
it,
don't have
whatever.
any beef. You ain't never heard me say anything to
You
her. I don't.
don't.
I don't. That's why I said, "Oh,
I don't have. Girl, please knock it off, okay?
no, it is an all
Let,
moment.
let, let's let's knock it off, okay? Because you be acting weird over on Mega's
No, it's
side.
an all
Soon as soon
moment,
as, soon as I hop up on a Mega's panel, you get them claws come out. You
girl.
you
I
you
ain't
be
been
upset
on
about your
TikTok
man.
in I
But
don't know how long. You
what
heard
I'm
yourself.
saying is that this conversation. I understand that your name was brought up, but the fact that you're even trying to interject yourself in this conversation is just weird as fuck to me. And I wanted
Oh,
to, and I also wanted to state that fact. It's weird that you're here, even if your name,
oh,
plenty of people's names was brought up.
oh,
But I can understand because when you don't get attention in real life, you'll take anything. So enjoy the
oh.
crumbs.
Oh, enjoy the crumbs. I'm sorry. I
So,
was doing
um,
I was doing my fave a favor because she asked me to come here. So I'm sorry that you don't like that somebody likes me. You have a problem. I think you should actually do something about that. But go ahead, pretty, with what you were saying.
yeah. Um, that just threw me off. I just like the thing is that I'm not even gonna do. They ain't gonna call out shit because how do you know how I feel about you? But anyways, um, I don't personally think she was necessary in this conversation. But either way, it don't matter. This ain't my business. Um,
No,
I
she not.
think
I'm
that
not saying she necessary, and she don't have to be necessary. But if she wanted to come up here, Hattie did that on her own. I didn't ask her to come on the panel. I just told her I was talking about her. Hattie wanted to come on and come up and join the panel. If Tara didn't want her on the panel, Tara could have dropped her. I don't think she necessary in the conversation, but she a grown woman. She pressed it. She pressed the button and decided to come up here on her own.
I ain't
Hattie
bothered
moved on her
nobody.
own. Like
so yeah.
that's
So
crazy.
Been minding my business,
in the
friend. Ain't said
conversation,
nothing the whole time.
in the anyway, so in the conversation, neither one of you guys were wrong. My point was I was saying that you said different things and I got different things from what y'all were saying. I felt as though I aligned with what Tara was saying and I was explaining what Tara was saying, but I don't think what I got from your message was the same per se. Like, but I
Right.
also did not agree with a lot of things a lot of people said. I also didn't agree with some things that E said, right? Like, but I think that that was the healthy part of the discussion, and I'd love to like. That's why I like coming here, because there hasn't been much times I've joined Tara's panel that I haven't been challenged, right? And that's actually what I like about coming here, is because I think it's you should be authentically challenged. You should be able to have these kind of dialogues. And as I said, I came over here and got some great advice on parenting and didn't expect it. So I plan to return, but like that's kind of what I also want, or what I'm building in my space is one where no one is above being touched, right? Like everyone can get checked on some shit, and we should all be okay with that if you do join that atmosphere.
Right. But that's why I was that's why I'm clarifying for you, because in your response, even on your panel, I could tell that you felt like I was just like, oh, you just it seems like you just trying to get at and say this and say that, and you didn't have a point. But I thought my point was very clear, that like we stand in, because my point was, because the sisterhood is standing so close to the pygmies, like one of the last person who I would expect to be like a pick me is standing so close to the least harmful pick me. I just try to unpack calling women pick me's because of that situation, and I thought I made that kind of clear. And you know, it, I ain't gonna lie, it was a bit of shade in there, but rightfully so. Either it was shade or me saying, you know what? I remember the time that you did the X, Y, and Z. So it's kind of hypocritical that you over here arguing with me in the comments or going off on me in the comments about this, and that. When I don't know who the sisterhood is, girl. The sisterhood is some bullshit the red pill men done made up. But I just go with the shit. I don't give a fuck. Sisterhood, schmisterhood. But that's all I was saying. And I think everybody got some pick me in there. So shit. I was agreeing with Tara.
But Lynn, I appreciate you for saying that, and I think like even when me and you are in spaces where we may have different opinions, like that's the funny part of it about it, right? And you spoke to it earlier, how women will throw daggers at other women the minute a conversation is centered around a man, whether it's about agreeing with men, whether it's about disagreeing with men, whether it's for the intention of men, right? And I agree with you. That's where the performative feminism aligns with pick me behavior, because as women, there should be a line whether or not you're with other women. I think, again, calling a woman a pick me in general because she agrees with men is a pick me behavior in itself. I do think pick me behavior is rooted in it is women who are dangerous towards other women in any fashion, whether that's fake behaviors, whether that is putting them in harm's way with men or with other women. I don't think it's just necessarily about being in agreement or being an anti male. I don't think that's what makes a woman a pick me at all. But going back to what you had said about when the girls throw daggers, I think that's absolutely pick me behavior. And I don't think pick me behavior is just rooted in the acceptance of men. Like, I think girls do it too. I think that's what men would call the sisterhood, right? When women agree with each other, even though it may be something that's harmful to them. I don't have a problem with anybody up here. I don't necessarily care um, about anybody enough to not like them. I don't think I've argued with any of you enough to have any irregard for you. But for some way, some reason, I seem to ruffle feathers. And even then and still, right? That goes back to what Lynn was talking about, those weird behaviors that women will do towards other women that ultimately deem them as harmful.
Damn, you said something in the beginning that you said you don't think is the pick me, and I want to know. Hey, damn, you said something that you think is the same thing, and I wanted to know. I needed some examples. Um, damn, hold on. Yeah, but no, I think that some women do operate out of male centeredness, and I'm gonna say you got a little more internalized misogyny than me or other women, and to me it got to be worked on, like checked. I don't know, because I don't believe in like checking grown women. Like checking is kind of crazy. It sound very authoritative about it sounds like we're your parents or something like that. But no, if I disagree on something that you say, and if I disagree with you, like just agreeing with a man for the sake of him being a man, or I think that you may be like misguided in what you're saying, of course I'm going to say like, hey, it's given what is given. And to me, the word will be male centered or pick me. I mean, shit, it's overused, but sometimes,
Lynn, I wanted to say that the
uh,
men that come up with their misogynistic talking points, but when we ask them to look at the underlying root cause, where did you get this from? And they try to go deep and they be like, I'm not. It just is what it is. That's the vibe.
uh,
So if you have a woman who go, I just believe it and I don't need to look at any other reason why. It's just what I do. That person is completely stuck, right? So they don't care that
uh,
it came from a harmful place. They're like, nope, that's what I like to do, and I'm going to stick to it. But have you ever looked into it? So if you can't take the layers off and you can't go deeper, and then another layer, another layer, then that conversation is not going to be genuine. That person
right,
doesn't want to unpack how harmful or how misogynistic their thinking or talking points is, or the behaviors are, so they're not going to mess with it. So those are the fluff people that we don't want to engage with and we don't want to talk to, right? We're like, no, I'm
right,
not going to even bother because that person isn't going to do it. So that's why I said I blame you, because Hattie's not going to unpack the layers. We're not going to go through that with her. And that's what I was
yeah,
trying to bring to the conversation on Pretty's Live. Like, okay, you're saying this one thing. Let's dive deeper. Let's see if there's another layer. Tara was trying to do that. Tara was trying to get down to the root cause about this. Like, hey, listen, we all got birthed as pygmies. We all came this way. You didn't skip it. You couldn't get around it. That's just the patriarchy. That's just misogyny. We're all born into it. And then that's the degrees of us unpacking. And some people stop. They be like, oh, I don't want to think about that. I want this benefit. I don't want to think about that. I want this benefit. And they'll not have the conversation. And when it doesn't get deep, then we're going to go, okay, yeah, you bullshitting. And I felt like we couldn't go deep on Pretty's panel because it was like, nope, I just think this way. And that's there's no other way to hear this or
yeah,
what have you. I'm calling them pick me's and I don't care why. And we were like, no, there's nuance. No, there's different things. Hey, that's an abuser or what have you. And that kept getting shot down. That's not genuine. You're not showing up to have a conversation. You're not showing up to have a discussion. That's what Pretty was trying to push, what Tara was trying to push. I do my little 2 cents in. But if we come back to that point and you have someone who doesn't want to look at the whys, the how we got here, how can we move this forward? Is there another better option? Nope, there's no better option. This is fine the way it is. That's what men say about the
yeah.
patriarchy. It's fine the way it is. I like me just like this. I'm sure you do. We do get a little confused when women say that because you're not benefiting. So we're like, why are you standing on it? I know why he's standing on it. I know all his benefits. I can run that list down. But it gets confusing because I'm like, why are you standing strong for it, man? So but that's it. I'm gonna go back on mute. Thank y'all.
But that's the reason why, like, so the difference between, to me, um, between like a Hattie and a Asaya is like, I genuinely believe like the stuff that she's saying, and I think she say the shit that she's saying from her own vantage point and from her own experiences after like have hearing her talk about like how she was raised, like her kids, her fiance, whatever. I'm like, oh, how do you really believes this? Like, and we can have a conversation surrounding her beliefs. Now, what I believe about Asaya is that Asaya is she performing this from like for the males, like and using the males talking points. Because I done saw Hattie disagree on like lower panel and Omega panel about some shit that they say. But I ain't saying she perfect. I be telling her I think you'll pick me all the time. But I'm just saying she one that I can have a conversation with about some shit. Um, but y'all don't got to. And I didn't invite Hattie over here to join the conversation. I just was telling her that I was talking about her. I used her as an example because we was once getting into beef before. So I'm like, I don't want you to think I'm talking about you behind your back. So yeah, and I sent her to live, but she joined the panel on her own. Um, yeah.
I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. If we gonna give grace to Hattie, like, ain't no way we can't give grace to women who are deconstructing and they get it wrong.
But that's my point. I'm like, we focusing too much on people because we feel some type of way and we're not focusing on behaviors. We just
And
made
that's
some.
where I completely agree with you.
Um, so this is the thing. I never considered Hattie to be cool with me when we first got on this app. I always consider her an op. So as for me, I'm gonna forgive whoever the fuck I want to forgive. To be honest with you, like when I'm ready, I'm ready. I once said that I wouldn't talk to one of the women who, I considered a friend and we just got into it with on this app, and now me and her back talking. But I'm gonna forgive when I'm good and ready, especially when the women stop like attacking me. Hattie ain't never hosted a live and said a whole bunch of lies about me. Purposely said a whole bunch of lies about me. That shit is personal. I want to let you know it ain't personal. It ain't personal with Hattie. I disagree with her talking points. I disagree with how she feel about women. But she ain't personally attacked me. This shit is personal with June. It's real personal. I don't want to be confused on that. It's fucking
I
personal
don't know
with
if I
Yellow
don't
and
know
the
if
rest
I'm
of them
like
women.
But yeah, Sonya did that too.
It's real personal. You ain't
So,
like what's going on? Yeah, you June. It's real personal. I don't know what's going on. Like, Eve more valid, Tara more valid. Like, am I? I'm sorry. Am I? Am my what happened to me not valid? Like, what's going on here? That's how it seems. Now I'm about to get pissed
well
off.
now well, I'm gonna say one thing. I came up because I thought we were talking about Tara. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I thought we were talking about Tara. That's why I came up.
Well, before we get into that, because I think it's gonna go. How y'all doing?
Okay, Summer.
Hey,
Hey, Summer.
I'm thinking as we were talking about the pick me thing, I was thinking about like who's to judge what level people are on, like we were talking about earlier, you know? So even when it comes to women who are the most feminist and you think are the most down, like often when it comes to one of us getting a man or our daddy or our son or our, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know what, like we don't know what anybody gonna do. And it pops up so much that I always say, I don't even know if a woman is my friend for real until she get a man. Because, most women, they fall off. They just, and then once it mess up, they want to come back around and be all in your face. So I don't even know what you believe or who you really are until you get a man. Because a lot of women will change their religion, their political view, everything, right? So even when we're dealing with feminists, like, um, I guess we have to decide like what is the end goal, because whether or not I agree with Hattie, I would stand up for her in lots of different situations. I might not consider her a comrade, like I ain't gonna tell her the battle plan, but also whoever I consider a comrade, from what happened before with these very women we talking about, just broke my heart. I would have never thought they'd act that way. I would have never thought that women would have chose public over me and be like, and then ice me out and then act like nothing happened and then act now like, oh, we cool. I ain't even saying about F1, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I gotta still try to protect all types of women and girls and boys and children, like people anyway. And it can't be based on whether or not you agree with feminism exactly at the point that I do right now. Because I'm gonna change my mind also. In 6 months, I'm gonna be in a different place. Hopefully, keep growing. So I don't know. That's what I'm coming to right now. Like I feel like at the end of the day, we still want to protect Hattie, right? Right? Even if she, but who's to say what level any of us are on or when any of us are getting it completely wrong in some way? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I still disagree with I had a conversation with Tara and yeah, she was right. I just don't give a fuck. I just think that when you've done a certain level of harm, when you've been used as a tool to against women for over a man, bitch, and it's up and it's stuck. So, but I mean, I'm still unpacking that. Um, me, I did have a conversation with Tara about it, and I do see what she's saying, but I just think that when you've shown that you're willing to, and this is not towards, I'm talking about the conversation. I'm not talking, this is not towards Hattie or strong face. I'm talking about like when a woman has shown that she will harm any woman over a man, like, I don't know, I just disagree. But like I said, I'm unpacking that. Because I did have a conversation with Tara on the back end about how she was saying that, a lot of us women will forgive a man for doing the most egregious shit stuff to us, and when it comes to our friends, our women friends, we'll throw them away real quick when they piss us off. And she made that point, and it has resonated with me. So that's something that I actively need to think on. Maybe I'm not ready to unpack that right now. Um, but yeah, that's, I mean, I still just kind of disagree with Pretty and Tara on it. Um, but like I said, I just need to unpack that.
Yes, I wanted to say that you there because if we see her on the street, we ain't gonna let nobody jump her. We gonna
True.
jump in and save her. So I'm good with that. That's my baseline. I ain't gotta fuck with you because you're gonna say something else, do something else, whatever. But I ain't gonna let no harm come to you. And that's how you do with family members that you don't agree with. I ain't gonna sit here and talk and kiki, and I ain't gonna lie to your face that I agree with the harmful shit coming out your mouth. But if you in harm's way and somebody's harming you, I ain't gonna let no harm come to you. That's my baseline, and that's where I'm gonna stay at. Buddying
Right.
up and saddling up. I'm not doing that. Now, you, the other person who may have committed the harm, can have an awakening and of their own volition choose to share, choose to say, "Hey, I did some unpacking. I think this is how I harmed you. Can we have a conversation?" But a lot of it is the old school way the black families get back together. You just start hanging out again in the same space, and now you cool. We're not doing that. Over here, we unpack too hard. We unpack too deep. We have too many difficult conversations to let you just come back to the cookout and act like everything is good. If you want to come back and have a conversation, that's always open. So I don't care what they say about this group. This group always willing to have a conversation. If we fell out, it's because you dropped off the panel. You ran out of Discord and you went and talked to somebody else. You don't want to talk to the people you harm. That's when a man leave you and go get a new woman because he don't want to talk about the shit he did to you. He don't want to face that. He don't want to have that conversation. So that's what I see the difference with people who've done the harm. We're not saying that you will never fuck with you, but you got to come to the point to think that you even did something wrong. That person may not believe they did nothing wrong. You shouldn't let them back around and give them another opportunity to fuck you over or what have you. But if they wanted to come and have a conversation, I don't think anybody would be opposed to that. Are we gonna ask questions? Are we gonna say this is how
Yeah,
you harm
tell
me?
June to pull
Yeah, but they
up.
don't. But it's uncomfortable. But it's uncomfortable though. And that's what Tara was saying. It's the mirror. It's the uncomfortability. People not ready to go that deep. I told you, it's real surface level. Real surface level. When Tara pulled us up and made us all answer the questions about what we've done that was anti-black, what have you done that was pick me behavior, and all of us had to give personal experiences. And Tara was like, "Nope, that ain't deep enough. You're talking about somebody else. What did you do?" Like we have those things. Tara will take her turn and say, "This is what I've done. This is what I still think. This is what I'm working on." Those conversations ain't that deep in all those spaces. They're keeping a high level. We get. personal, like super personal. And if you've had a specific interaction with that person, at this time it's personal. And yeah, we're not going to do no high level apology. Easy specific about whatever harm you cause and let that person say their thing. And you hear them out and you address it. Very, very hard to do. Very hard to get offended. Very hard not to feel attacked. Very hard to stay humble. Very hard to apologize sincerely. Repeat back what you heard. Say what's different about your behavior. All that stuff is not. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So I know, like, pretty. That's a thought process, and that's where it needs to go. But right now, it's super surface level, especially with people who have history. But I'm going to mute. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to know why it's not valid for me and my shit, but it's valid. Like, like my shit is just, oh, Lynn, you whoop the whoop, because that's how I feel. That's what it's seeming like. Like the shit that like
No,
I'm saying is not valid. Like the shit is very valid. Actually,
no, Lynn,
it
we
falls in
spent a lot of
line.
time. We spent a lot of, like, I was on your panels when you were unpacking everything. Like, what are you talking about? This is just a different
Right.
situation. So we're talking.
No,
I
no,
came up
it's
because I
it's
thought we were talking
along
about
the
Tara.
lines of the same situation. It's along the lines of the same situation. Like I
Right,
told
but
you,
you're
your
stating that
mom
I'm
was
saying
doing
it's
the
not
same
valid.
thing. Yeah, because even you saying I thought this was about Tara, it's a lie that Tara hosted, and we obviously have had conversations, and we all felt the same way about the shit that happened today on your live, just with different people. It happened with her, with Minnie and Allie. To me, it was happening with June. So I mean, you like I said, you should be here. It was your live. It happened on your live, but at the end of the day, the conversation was gonna be had. Like whether or not like you like join or wanted to like address what happened, like no disrespect. I mean that with all respect. Like believe me. But like like the shit was weird. This shit was weird. This shit was weird because in your comments again on another live, June tried to tell me let's be cool again, let's be cool after the shit you did with public. And like now that I don't, it's the same thing. Now that I don't want to be cool with you, all of a sudden you can't let it go. You got some shit to say every time I say something on the fucking panel. Like it's very weird. I don't even go around you. Like you problematic. You did the same shit to East. Like you attack women who don't believe the same thing as you, just like the fucking people, the red pill man and the pick me say that you do, or people like you do. You doing it now. You mad because I platform certain people on my fucking platform.
Um,
Weirdo.
June,
Oh
you
yeah,
want to come up?
I was gonna say that she was, and also too, I don't think that it's
Yeah, you can
invalid that
come up.
she was saying weird shit in the she was saying weird shit in the comments
Sorry,
to
Summer. I love
Lynn
you.
throughout the
Come on up. I won't talk about you behind your back. You can come up. Sorry, East. My apologies.
I'm
No,
gonna
it's
say
okay.
this.
I
Like,
wanted to say she was saying shit to you in the comments today in that very live. So, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong. I think you're perfectly valid for bringing it up.
no one is saying that Lynn is invalid for addressing the issue because obviously, like, this is your space. But what I was saying when I was talking to you in the comments, East, when I was like, hey, like, which one are we talking about? Like, I felt like it was jumping, and I was like, I'm not sure. Like, I thought we were talking about Tara. I'm kind of one of those people, like, I'm staying on the topic of what it was that we were talking about, and
Yeah,
I
no, I
came up
get that.
prepared to talk about Tara. Like, that's simply it. Whenever it was actually, Lynn, when it was a subject about you and people were like diverting the conversation from you to some random other crap, I don't know if you remember, I literally said the same thing. I said, this isn't about that. This is about Lynn. This isn't about that. This is about Lynn. Like, I kept going back to the, like, hey, this is about her. Because I think if we're addressing harm that has come to a person, then let's address the harm that came to that person. That's all I'm saying. If we're talking about something else, that's fine. But like, I'm just not going to engage in that part of the conversation because I came up because I was
Okay.
talking. I
Yeah,
was
but I don't think that you
asking
were
Tara.
No,
here
oh,
for
that's
the
fair. But
beginning.
yeah. Oh, go
I,
ahead, East.
I was gonna say no, but I was saying I don't think you were here for the very beginning because this live wasn't even supposed to be that. This wasn't supposed to be a call out live. This live. When I was the first person on the panel, and I was triggered by what I saw. So I started talking about it, and I'm the one that brought up the fact that it triggered me because I remember being harassed incessantly by June. I remember getting that passive aggressive treatment that Tara was getting, not from Minnie and Allie, but from a lot of those women that were supporting public, that used to, be in my spaces a lot, and then turned around and turned on us for over a man. I'm the one, so I don't think that you were here. This is how this whole thing started. This live was actually supposed to be like a continuation, or like a conversation about that, like a branch off of your life. What is considered a pick me? When I got up here, I derailed the conversation, and I'm the one that brought it up because I was triggered by those very same women that are on the panel talking about, like, oh, we should get to be able to call a woman a thing or a thing, and it's like, of course you do. Of course you want to be the one to be able to call a woman a name, especially over a man. So I brought it up, and that's why Lynn is talking about her experience, because me and her did have that conversation today. To that we're sitting here looking at the women that literally harassed us over a fucking man that wasn't feeding or financing them. So that's why this all got brought up. It wasn't. It's Tara, but Tara was the trigger, and I'm that's whatever. I'm mute up.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
June, you can shut the fuck up in the comments, or you can bring your ass up here. You can shut the fuck up in the comments, or you can bring your scary ass up here, because you don't want to be called out for your pick me behavior for what the fuck you did with public. You don't want to be called out for that shit, because you the biggest pick me. You the biggest public pick me. Okay, harmful that. Cause how about for your
Wait,
soundbite, you tell them what you did for public and how you went off on me and Eve for public. Go ahead. Go ahead and tell everybody.
I just I wanna
Go
I
ahead and
want
tell
this to be noted.
everybody.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, 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 wait,
I
wait.
want this in her
This needs to be
soundbite. So when she
this
go
needs to
live
be
about
captured.
me,
This
when she
needs to
go
be
live about
captured.
me on her live, because y'all
It's
know she gonna go
the
live. Talking about you can come to my inbox. Girl, ain't nobody coming to your inbox. Step up.
no,
If you feeling
no, no,
froggy,
no, 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 no,
what?
no, 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 no.
What? No.
There are complaints daily on this app about how much June run her mouth and talk crazy to people and get in fights and start fights. So the fact, if y'all don't understand the
I love
People
it.
information,
hate
if
that
y'all been in
lady.
spaces, but if y'all been in spaces, I don't care what she do. I want you to be consistent. But I want you to understand I'm always unpacking and I'm always discovering the things that are not being said. They're so much more powerful. If this person fights any and everybody, the fact that you don't want to come up here, y'all have
She
y'all
don't want
answer.
Pretty
I
to
don't care
know.
what she say. She don't
Yeah.
want Pretty to know about that side of her.
She don't want Pretty to
Please,
know about that
please,
side of
y'all got to
her.
see this
She
shit.
don't
It
want
is
Tam to know
so
about that side of
apparent.
her.
Tam,
She don't
all
want
the
Tam
whole
to know
crew,
about that side of her, right?
the whole fucking
She,
crew. It is
yeah.
wild. I just
She
want
don't
y'all to
want
know.
Tam
Just
to know
please
about
see
that
it.
side of her.
Please see when somebody like, oh,
Sorry,
I want to
King,
do
you
that
ain't coming up
fight.
right now.
Yeah, no, but I'm about to say so.
No,
If
no,
you
she don't want them to know that side of her. My bad, Dark Horse.
No,
I'm
no,
fucking
you're right.
pissed.
I just want y'all to understand that the person who fights the most, the one who says they provoke every fight, meaning they started this fight. It don't have to. It doesn't even have to involve her. This involves her. It is directly involving her, and she won't come up. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Y'all have to be able to draw the lines. You guys have to see this and make it make sense in your mind that people who will fight everybody so strongly, but when it's concerning them and it's about their behavior, I don't want to talk about that though. That's what we're talking about performative. That's the lie. That's what we're saying that it was making our brain short circuit. when we were in that space with women who have done the thing that they're sitting there trying to chastise Tara about, chastise Lynn about, all of those things. We can have the conversation, but you not being to open your doors, you not raising your blinds and saying it's a we conversation, it's a you bitch doing it wrong. We're not doing that. We can have a conversation, point out what I'm doing wrong. But if I point out something about you, don't tell me that you're the authority. No, mine is right. You're just completely wrong. Absolutely the fuck not. That's not how unpacking and deconstructing works. Not at all. But go ahead, Lynn.
Right to pulled by somebody. That's why she ready to participate in relational aggression and group think. That's why she ready to do it. Because she ain't never been liked in her life. She ain't never had a solid group of friends in her life, so she get on TikTok to be the big bad wolf, but you ain't the big bad wolf. You a scary little kitty cat. Look at you. You won't even come up here to talk about to hold yourself accountable for the shit you did. I platform saw. What next, bitch? Now what? What next? Let's talk about what you did with public. Come up here. No? No? We could have just left it alone and I would have never talked about you. But instead, you want to be in people comments showing your ass. Now I got to tell the truth about you.
Ming, you wanted to say something about earlier?
Yeah, I just wanted to get clarification because I watched the live, but I didn't see it all the way through. Like I only watched like 20 minutes of it. I was just trying to get clarification of what y'all was talking about. That's all. So that's why my dog started barking and acting a fool. Like it's not a black household, so he don't know what he was doing. But I just was that's why I was at the comments because I wanted to hear what y'all was talking about. That's all.
We were just addressing the passive aggressive behavior from earlier.
Okay. That's all. But yeah, that's why I was in the comments. I just wanted to hear what y'all was talking about. But then once I thought y'all started talking about the prompt that you have on screen. So yeah, that's all.
Go ahead, East. Get it out.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know. I don't have anything to say. I didn't know I was unmuted. I'm just actually I do have something to say. Y'all know I always got something to say. Um, I just find it ironic that June is the same person that got up on Gentie's live and tried to whisper us to fucking death about how we're over there on these harmful men's spaces, and you
I
sat your
forgot
ass
that
up.
bitch did that. East.
Hello, you sat up there and was in Ghost panel for how long before he finally cussed your stupid ass the fuck out? And you went crying. Like that's one of the things I don't like. It's like we are being we it, it's the respectability politics, it's the political correctness, like, but you get to go sit up there and on Ghost panel for all of those motherfucking weeks before you finally realized that he was fucking dangerous, and you tried to fucking soft talk his ass to fucking out of misogynistic thoughts. But we're the bad guy because we get to we're the bad guys because we are over talking to the red pillars, telling them that they lame ass stupid DL bent over loose juice booty ass niggas.
Sorry.
She just mad because she can't properly read. She was shaking in the voice when she was trying to read Gaslight today. Just sitting over there shaking in the voice, sounding crazy. You big, disgusting monster. Nobody likes you. Your mother should have swallowed
But
you. Oh, shaking in the voice and shit. Bitch, shut up,
can I ask
stupid.
y'all a question though? Can I ask y'all a question? I'm sorry, but can I ask y'all a question? If that's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to get the consent first. But when it comes to like women who have internalized misogyny, because that's what I feel like a pick me is, and also misogynist, how do y'all like do y'all feel I be tired of educating them. And I be tired of having empathy for that shit. So that's why I'm like, how do you
Oh
I'm not trying to
no.
see how to navigate it, but it's just like, do you ever get tired of doing that shit? Because I be so tired of hearing people tell me to do that shit. Like, oh, you gotta teach people empathy, you gotta teach them. No, I don't. That's why I
Okay.
just wanted to ask you, how do y'all navigate that kind of shit, especially as black women, like as BOK women?
Well, that was my overall point. That like we talk about internalized misogyny, but we don't talk about how we hate ourselves, right? We don't talk about how like we don't like ourselves. So when it's people who look like us, we got all the smoke for them,
Uh-huh.
right? So it's like, well, how do you talk to these women? How do you talk to them? Because that woman you talking to is you, is you. I'm tired of gentle parenting, y'all motherfuckers. Like, stop trying to other women. Stop trying to other them. That's the thing. Like, that's the part I'm trying to say. Like, all right, somebody's saying something in the moment, you can point out the behavior, but at the end of the day, like, reason why you feel so that anger you have, that suppressed emotion you have, a lot of that shit is how you feel about yourself, and you ain't processed it.
Yeah, I say it either used to be you, it is you, or it will be you. But in all those categories, you gonna be in it. So people trying to other themselves from the experience, which is called woman, living in a misogynistic, patriarchal society, you can't other yourself. You're going to be in it, or already have, or will be again. It's not linear. There's nothing skip and stops. You don't know what's ahead. That's all I want to say. Just understand that. So that's when we say we're all pygmies. That's what that means. You're not capable. You're not immune to being fooled. The I would nevers, and then you be nevering like you never thought before, right? So if you take off that I would never, then that's where the empathy comes in. Empathy doesn't mean that they're your best friends, right? That's not
Hmm.
what it is. It's saying, "Who I did that didn't turn out well." Is that person open to hearing it, or are they not? So I say case by case. There's no blanket answer to be like, "This is how you deal with women who
Hmm.
are who are still struggling with internalized misogyny." There's no blanket answer. It is literally case by case. Did that person start asking questions? Did they sound like they wanted to hear more? That they start, saying, well, what about this? What about that person's inquisitive? That there's a crack in the door. Like they got it
Hmm.
peeking open. They're looking. So that's what it is case by case. There's no way to say this is a one size fit all solution to it. And that's it. I'm gonna go mute.
Any last words,
Where
y'all?
Drika at? Drika done let me get jumped, twin. Damn.
I joked.
She's somewhere else, being Miss Crash Out.
Damn, twin. June jumping me in the comments. Where was your antennas? Weirdo.
She over there being Miss Crash Out.
Where she
Look,
at? Oh, that don't
not
make
her
no
being
damn
dead.
sense.
She is such a deadbeat dad. She wants
Not
his
Don't make no
son.
damn. Where she at? In Franklin Live, y'all?
I'm gonna go look.
I know you fucking lying.
Why I say host next to her name? She hosting a live?
That's a glitch. She'll do that sometimes. But
Oh,
that
okay.
green purple mean she don't know what the fuck we saying over here because she over there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Like, y'all ain't talking about nothing.
Over there in the next bitch face. Mm-mm.
Maybe next time.
It's all right. She know where home is at the end of the day.
Ace, you gotta follow out of me with that one. I'm about to follow.
Ghetto.
You gotta
You
follow out of me
ghetto.
with that one. You gotta follow out of me with. She
You
know
about
where
to
home
make
is.
you about to make me call you by your name. I'm telling you. Cause what is you doing, ma'am?
I don't know. I don't know. We over here. We over here empathizing with the Pickmes. I wanted to empathize with the Pickmes too. Shit.
Y'all not about to run me dry about that. Y'all might as well gonna let me hear it right now. Cause I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I don't want to hear that shit tomorrow. I'm telling Dark Horse and East right the fuck now.
Now we're gonna wait for you till you bored and be like, you know what, I wanted to call you in.
Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna say it. I'm leaving out now. Now, both of y'all.
No, I didn't have any final any last words, y'all. It's getting late.
Yeah, it is getting late. We never got to this goddamn checklist, y'all. But let me say this. I'm gonna make this goddamn checklist, and since y'all motherfuckers want to tell me everybody not to pick me, like I said earlier, you gonna be certified fucking pick me unless you come get your fucking certificate. That's how we gonna do that. Just so y'all know, cause y'all niggas lying, y'all fucking lying. I don't believe none of y'all motherfuckers who say not me. I don't believe a not me motherfucker. I'm just letting y'all know. If you ever thought I did, I didn't. I thought you was lying the whole damn time. Um, but yeah, thank y'all. I'm glad we got that shit out. Minnie and Allie, wherever the fuck y'all at, fuck y'all bitches. That's it. Bye y'all. Thanks for coming and supporting.